Okay, this has been sitting for about 24 hours now, so glue should have gone off okay. I'll take the clamps off. I'm going to take the rubber bands off. I don't remember which order we put them on. Always seems easy though. It is. That's one. Which was the next one? I think it was that one. Okay, I've taken the rubber bands off this, which are holding it down, and unclamped it. It's glued on properly. As you can see, it is a bit of a mess where the glue's sort of gone over. That was predictable. There is the odd little fingerprint on there where the glue, you know, you can't really avoid it, to be honest. But that can all come off. A little bit of wire wool will clean that up again nicely. I've got to do it anyway when I put the other frets on, and I've got to still do the edges of the frets. This has all got to be trimmed anyway. It's got to be scraped and sanded and spoke shaved to the right profile. But I'm going to leave that just for a few days, just to make sure the glue's gone off properly, because that is quite important. And profiling this is absolutely vital. It's the neck and the fretboard of the guitar that actually that's the playability. That's where it all is. The sound is from the you know, from the body, but the playability of the guitar is all down to the neck. So I'm going to leave that for a bit, let that dry off properly, and then I'm going to spend a bit of time on that. But I'll put that away for now and just show you what we're going to do next. This is the back of the guitar. Well, the back of the front. That's the front, obviously. That's the back. Everything's in place. But what I've got to do now, I've got to profile these a little bit. Just taper them down. They've been sort of roughly shaped when I made them, but the edges just need trimming down a little bit, and then I've got to cut it to size. Well, I've got to cut these the guitar body to fit properly on there. So I'm just going to get a chisel, probably this one, just to show you what we do. And basically it's just a question of getting on it. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me just have a look. Yeah, I think you can. And just trimming it down. You do it roughly with a chisel, and then just go over it afterwards with some sandpaper. Just make it fine. It's not a difficult job. As long as your chisels are sharp, that's the most important thing. If you're using blunt tools, you've got no chance. You'll probably cut your fingers off. Basically, you can see what I'm doing. I'm feathering these right down to the actual the plane of the guitar itself. These will have a little bit of a rise on them, and this will be cut into here. So I'll carry on doing this. I'm sure we don't want to bore you to death with me doing it, so I'll switch the tape off for now.
Involved to the CID. There has never really been a proper explanation for why that was with the CID.
Turn the radio off. Right, I spent a little time just trimming these down, feathering them off, and then I've sanded the whole thing. So it's all really almost ready to go. There's only one thing to do before I start marking this out. I've got to put a little reinforcing piece of cloth on here. I use a bit of cotton, use an old shirt actually. I just need to cut it to shape, glue it on there, just to give that little bit of reinforcement. I don't think it really needs it, but it's a traditional thing, certainly that Martin and quite a few other manufacturers do. So I'll do that. Sorry, yeah. When the next thing to do after that is mark it out for the size to fit on. And the way you do that, this is the size here. You can see those. Basically, make sure it's the right way up. This is the number of people which have cocked this up, and it's the easiest thing in the world to do. That side there is the dovetail hole for the neck. So that's the top of the guitar. So basically, you line this up on the top. I've got some marks on the inside of it, so I know where the centre lines are. And it's just a question, really, of making sure you've got it in the middle. There's enough wood sticking out the sides, not quite enough at the back there, so I'll slide it forward a touch. This is where you make the tops and the back oversized, just to make sure that it will actually fit on. Just go around there and make sure that there is, I have to do this by feel, that there is wood all the way around. The last thing you want to do is cut it all off and then find that you've got a bloody gap between the top and the sides. And that looks and feels okay to me. Now, I'll just take this off the stand so you can see what I'm doing. Now, inside there, as you can probably see, it's all lined up on the inside. Or if you can see the lines marking it together there, across down the end block and across there, and the same on there, so we know it's in the centre. There is a bit of leeway backwards and side and forwards, but it's only small. There's enough there. Yeah, that's fine. It's about spot on, actually, that is. Now, what I've got to do now, so if you can see here, I've got to cut the kerf in, so these will just slip underneath. There's only about 5 of those to do, 5 or 6 to do. And the thing is, none of this will ever be seen, because obviously, you know, when you're looking through the sound on the guitar, you won't just see what's going on. But I'd like to have it as neat as I can, all the same. So I'll do that. Okay, pencil.
Is almost unstoppable. He will gather enough support in the 12 states that vote in primaries and caucuses to make it very, very difficult to see either Senator Rubio or Senator Ted Cruz halting his march to the nomination at the party convention in July. On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton is almost bound to have a good night against Bernie Sanders, but tonight, frankly, is all about Trump. I talked to one political consultant today who said, look, here's the story of Trump. He is the love child of 24-hour news and corporate greed. David Merritt is political director of the polling company Grants Global, who works on Republican political campaigns. I keep hearing that everyone in the Republican Party establishment hates Donald Trump. If that's true, why have they failed to stop him?
Well, it's a great question. I would say it's the...
Okay, I've marked the curve in. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but little marks there and there, another one there, and these are just where I need to just trim it back just a little bit. Very sharp chisel. This mahogany splinters very, very easily. And it's just a bit too easy to take a bit too much off. But basically, you can see them. Just taking it off there. Okay, that one. All I'm doing really is just marking this out because It'll take a bit of fine tuning just to get it exactly how I want it. I'll probably put that a bit too far in actually, but hopefully, well, you won't see it because it's underneath the top of the guitar. But I'd like for my own satisfaction to have it right. Okay, that'll do. That'll give me a start when I lay it down. There's another one here. That's good. I'll turn it and then just make sure I've got that right. So that's on one sideways, that sideways, 1, 2, 3, that's correct. Turn it over. And we've got the same on this side. But as I say, I'll turn it off just for a minute while. Okay, I've trimmed the edges there. As you can probably see, it all fits in there. There's no gaps. Looks okay. And that one's okay as well. Okay. Okay. So effectively now, apart from doing this little bit of reinforcement on here, that is ready to glue on. The back I've already done, and that's ready to go on. So hopefully, before too long, I'll be able to take the body out of the mould, which is a bit of a milestone really. It's been in there for bloody ages. Let me put this back on the stand and I'll just show you a couple more things which I've done. There's a bellow on the back, you know, just to give it some shape. That will fold down and glue on properly with a bit of tension. Now I've got this theory that you need tension on the back and on the top to give it the resonance that you need. It's like a drum. What I've done with this, and I hope it's going to work, I don't know if you can see that, but I've got a shape on the back there, so it'll give me that boominess I'm hoping to get out of it. But I've tried to keep the front flat, and I think I have, because I had the mistake last time when I put a bow on the front and I couldn't get the fretboard on properly. So hopefully I've cured it this time. The only thing that worries me slightly, no, I think it'll be okay. I've got the bridge to go on, which I've still got to make, which is going to be made out of this piece of ebony. Yeah, that's nice and flat, and that'll fit on there okay. I was a bit worried in case I put too much bow on it that this won't bend. There's no way that'll bend. So I need to make sure that it was going to be flat enough for the bridge, and it looks like it is. So we're going to find a shirt, and we'll take it from there.